Hello, thank you for joining me in another video. If you're new here, my name is Howard. I've been a retail investor for over 10 years now, and this channel is about me sharing my stock research and also the stocks I'm actively buying. Today, we've got some news in one of the stocks I'm most interested about at the moment, which is Nebius. They have actually acquired a new company. It sounds like a really exciting business. So today, we're going to go through and have a look into that company that they purchased, because I think it's actually a good way of understanding the broader strategy of Nebius and how it's different from its competitors. So first of all, let's jump a quick look into the stock price where we'll start things off. So we do, of course, have the earnings coming out very, very soon. So the stock price at the moment, over the past 5 days, it has been very choppy. It dropped down to as low as $70, had a massive recovery in 1 day. And now we're sitting around this $90 mark. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter where we are now because the earnings are likely to be a massive swing either way. We're really looking into what guidance they give us and how we can think about 2026. So it really is going to be, let's see what those earnings and the earnings report looks like, and then we can see what the stock does from there. Let's get into the main subject of today's video, and that is Nebius announcing that it's acquired Tavily. So what Tavily is, it's an agentic search to its AI cloud platform. You can see here, what we'll go into is what they've actually said about this, and then we'll go into kind of a good summary of what the company is as well. But essentially, it is agentic search. It is allowing AI agents to search the web. This means that they can be a lot more useful to whoever they're serving, what they're being used for, because they can get up-to-date information, and it does actually make what they're doing so much more valuable because it's very up-to-date. I think you'll remember in the early days of ChatGPT, all of the information came from up to 2021, I think it was. So it couldn't give you any more information than that. And it was really cool, but that was one of its limitations. It completely changed how functional and useful it was when it had up-to-date information. So what Tavily allows you to do, it allows when you're building your own AI app or service, it allows you to provide live search inside your application that you are building. If you go down to Roman Chernin, the co-founder and chief business officer of Nebius. So I've listened to an interview on him before on YouTube, which is really, really good, that I'd recommend giving a search for some interviews that he's done. But kind of the thought behind this and where Nebius is trying to go as a business. So we're not just an infrastructure as a service company. We're building the complete platform for anyone who wants to build AI products, agents, or services. And it goes on to say Tavily is solving a critical part of this stack with agentic search. And it has proved itself with strong developer adoption. So number one, the first thing they said, we are not just an infrastructure as a service company. We know that they've had huge deals come through from the likes of Meta and Microsoft, where they have been infrastructure as a service. Basically, they're renting out their capacity and running workloads for these big companies. But their special sauce is actually all the software they can provide, with people being able to manage their own AI applications on their service, manage it, build it, train it, and scale it. That is what's really special about Nebius and what I think separates it from its competitors. When we're looking here into, we're building the complete platform for anyone who wants to build AI products, agents, or services, is very much reminding me of Shopify. So I was a very early Shopify investor. I invested first around like $4 there back in 2016. I had the advantage that I don't have here if I use that product every single day and had done for years. And they were basically making it as easy as possible for entrepreneurs to start a business and start selling stuff online. They wanted to cover absolutely everything, and they made it more cost efficient to do that. When we're talking about something like Nebius and AI, this is not a company that the majority of people are going to touch, which is why it's even more important that we do as much deep research as possible. The people that are using this product are specialists. They are developers building these AI agents, which is a very small subset of the population. So we really need to go deep into researching what this means. What it sounds like to me is when people are building these AI applications, they're obviously hosting it and training it onto Nebius, but they're also having to use all of these other tools that their AI agents and platforms can use. What Nebius wants to do is increase the amount that they can do inside the Nebius platform and not have to bolt on other services. And this acquisition of Tavily looks like it's doing exactly that. You can now do your agentic search inside your applications within Nebius. You don't need to go to an outside company to do that. We've moved into here. So I put together this quick infographic. So what actually, trying to make it very simple in terms of what Nebius does in terms of its main business structure, and then how Tavily comes into this. So first of all, what kind of Nebius does, and we've got an example here of Legal Mind AI, which is a legal, kind of a fictitious legal AI service. It pulls legal updates, it searches case law, and it summarizes contracts. So number one, training the AI model. Nebius actually allows Nebius uses GPUs to train on legal documents. If I want to create this document, if I want to create this application, sorry, Nebius will let me do this and will help me train that with all the legal documents that I have. Number two, deploying the service. So Nebius is actually going to then help me deploy the service to my customers, and it's going to help me run that AI service as well, again, through its GPU processors. So it's helping me build and train. It's helping me provide the services. And also we look into one of the parts of how it helps provide these services is now Tavily, of course, of one of many applications and different stuff that Nebius does. But this is a part of the service. They now have real-time search inside there. So Nebius provides that to their customers. So if you made an app, for example, Legal Mind AI, fetching fresh case law and updates, you will now be able to do this inside Nebius without having to go to an external application. And of course, we've got the end, which is scaling securely, enterprise level infrastructure for the likes of Microsoft and Meta are using. So hopefully this sees kind of the value chain of if you were to create an AI, kind of an AI service, an AI application, this is the value chain and how Nebius helps you. And it also shows you where Tavily fits into that as well. If we have a look back over onto... share my screen again here. Now, as far as I can see from Nebius's actual announcement, I had to have a look around to see how much this deal was worth. But from doing a bit of research, it looks like it was, pay initial 275 million in cash, and it will raise up to 400 million if milestones are met, which is a payout over time as long as the business performs. I had to look around to try and find this. So that's what it looks like to me at the moment, 275 million. That is in cash, not in stock. So that does mean, again, it's more cash that Nebius is going to need. And in this new update that we're going to get for Q4, hopefully we're going to get an idea of what they're going to be doing to raise this cash as well. They have a number of options, but with their rapid expansion for GPUs, with them building their new locations, they're building a new location completely from scratch. And for the likes of these acquisitions, they're good things for that they should be spending money on, because we think it's going to give us huge growth in the future, but we do need the cash to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see where they are stating where they plan to get this cash from. I've just got again here, Tavily.com. Apparently this app is only like a year old as well, which is absolutely crazy. So founded a company, it's an Israel-based company, and to sell it for 275 million is amazing. But it shows you the power of building an application in something that is a growing industry and people really need. That's what they've done here. So again, connect your AI agents to the web. Next, we're going to get into one of the last bits we're going to talk about today, which is the earnings. So I mentioned here, Nebius Group is going to announce their fourth quarter and full 2025 results before the market opens on February the 12th. So we're going to get that very soon after this video comes out, actually. What I'm going to be looking for in terms of there, well, let's have a hop over to, this is kind of their opening slide from their last earnings that we saw that they gave us inside Q3. It's all going to be about guidance, basically. One of the benefits we do have Nebius is they're already making money. They're already making revenue from providing AI infrastructure as a service. We're going to be looking at their growth of that kind of quarter on quarter and year on year. We're going to be looking at their margins as well, because when we're predicting future growth in a company, we also want to see this company is structurally profitable. Some of the criticisms of other data center companies is that they're doing these huge deals and they're making very tiny margins on them because they're just being a little bit of a middleman. We want to see Nebius keep up these margins. So we've got a 19% adjusted EBITDA margins. We want them to have strong margins. They're operationally profitable. So when they can continue to scale, we're going to see profit. We're going to become profitable. and then we're going to see profits expand very quickly. So we're going to want to see that. Have a look at funding as well, because we do know they've got a lot of money to spend. But then we're going to be looking at this guidance. And guidance, to be honest, is what I think is most important for Nebius. We've got big expectations for Nebius in 2026 and beyond. They've given strong guidance, and they really need to back that up and kind of cement down on that guidance. This kind of, the main headline figure is 7 to 9 billion expected annualized run rate by the end of this year. And what that means, basically, if we take the last month of the year, December, times that by 12 to assume a whole year's worth of revenue on that, it's going to be between 7 to 9 billion. I think if they just repeat this again now, I'm not sure if that'll be enough. I mean, it would be good to see them kind of affirming on maybe the 9 billion side, or maybe even they'll increase that. But in this kind of market, if anything's not perfect, companies are getting punished. We've seen this from all the earnings results that are coming out. Even if people are doing well, their stock price is just getting hit, because you need pure excellence to take capital and have people invest in your businesses at the moment. We're going to look at capacity guidance. How much capacity are they actually going to have online? How much connected power, contracted power, sorry. And then how much connected power, how much they can actually deliver. What they did announce last quarter is they're sold out of all available capacity. Want to get an update on their current capacity. So what has capacity happened in the last quarter? Have they sold out of all of that as well? And what capacity do they plan on bringing online, and how quickly can they do that? Because then hopefully they can sell out of that as well. It really is just okay, we're in a very, very fast growing company here. What signs can we get that growth is not slowing down and demand is high as ever? And acquiring a company like this, like Tavily today, it kind of shows that there's obviously a lot of demand in that application side of things, and they're not just looking at signing these huge hyperscalers to make some margin on renting out GPUs, but they are looking at building themselves as the whole ecosystem for people to build AI applications. So it'd be good to get some color on that as well, that side of the business. That's it for today's video. I will be doing a summary of Nebius's earnings as well. So if you're a fan of Nebius or a Nebius investor, please do follow along. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on this acquisition, and also what you're looking ahead to in the earnings as well. If you've got any thoughts on that, please do let me know in the comments. Apart from that, thank you for joining me in this video, and I will see you on the very next one.